I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. It's looking pretty rough out there. Thanks to the rapidly spreading coronavirus, we're being told to stay at home or they won't be able to contain this thing. Take this seriously, stay at home if you can. Hi, this is Tamika Rogers, California's real estate matchmaker with West Shores Realty. While you're home, think of the one silver lining. You have so much time to catch up on all that pop culture. If the sheer amount of choices is overwhelming, I have a few suggestions available to stream right now that you should finally check off your list. They are all great and well worth a distraction binge. So without further ado, here are a few best TV shows you should finally watch while you're stuck at home. First of all, and my absolute favorite, Game of Thrones. Oh my God. I slept on this show for God knows how long. Well, not literally slept on it, but you know what I mean. Anyway, besides the fact that Jason Momoa and his fine self is in it, I binge watched 6 seasons in 4 days. I know, right? Game of Thrones isn't about castles or dragons or sword fighting. It's about power. If you like The West Wing or House of Cards and you're willing to make the effort to differentiate among a half a dozen balding, middle-aged white guys in nice suits, then you're gonna love Game of Thrones too. It's about the struggle of the Iron Throne and the 7 kingdoms that come with it. And sure, there are elaborate and entertaining battles fought by guys in armor, but just as often the balance of the sword is swung by broad strokes, but by the backroom deals. Look past the courtly pleasantries. What's left is smart and ruthless players who will stop at nothing to advance their claim to the throne. If that means knocking out a rival, so be it. Next up, The Magicians. It's one of those most rewarding keep watching scenarios in recent years. Towards the tail end of season 1, what started as a perfectly fine adaptation of Lev Grossman's fantasy trilogy magically morphed into one of the wildest shows on TV. Appropriately billed as an R-rated Harry Potter, The Magicians revolves around Quentin Coldwater, a fantasy novel nerd who finds himself enrolled in the very real Brakebills University for magic pedagogy. That's the jumping off point for a story that hops between universes, cheats deaths, pulls off a few incredible musical numbers, and does it with all an incredible heart in its center. The most magical thing about The Magicians is that it's never afraid to take on the most serious subject matters, and the insanity of everything around it only makes it a hit that much harder. Note to self, Sci-Fi recently announced season 5 would be the show's last season, so it's the perfect time to take it all in. Next up, chances are you've heard about the frightening yet feel-good series Stranger Things. And chances are you've thought, kids battling monsters, no thank you, I'll watch a rerun of Big Bang Theory instead. If that's the case, you're missing out on this show about adolescents fighting supernatural forces. The science fiction horror follows the story of several mysterious disappearances in a small Indiana town and is already being called this generation's X-Files. Anyone who grew up alternating between E.T. and the Goonies, my favorites, on movie night will have serious flashbacks watching this show. Set in 1983, everything from the cinematography, the special effects, and even the chopper bikes will be familiar. Prepare to remember how good it was in those days. And if for nothing else, horrors are scientifically good for you. Okay, so maybe they're not great for your heart, but according to the bit of Googling, watching scary movies can help you burn a calorific equivalent of a small chocolate bar, according to studies researched at the University of Westminster. So binge watching Stranger Things is basically like a workout. So there it is. I have a few shows and I hope this will keep you busy and entertained while stuck in the house. So grab a bag of popcorn, dim the lights, and sit back and enjoy.